I want to begin with these two um, all right. Welcome back, friends, to yet another podcast of the season called New Beginnings of the Passion Project called No Other Life. It's something that I've been unveiling here throughout this season. It's going extremely well, and I'm thrilled about it. I've been thinking about this project for months and even elements of it for a few years now, and it finally seemed like the right time to really go into it. And I'm glad that you're coming along for the ride. Thank you for joining me so much. Today we're continuing our discussion of the pairs of models that we might experience in our lives as we go about this journey of new beginnings. And the great thing about it is that they do seem to pair pretty nicely together. The first one today is something that I refer to as the startup model. Now, what is the startup model and why is it important? I'm here to tell you. The startup model is one in which you start out on the antecedent side of the new beginning / where you have an idea and you want to see it through. You want to put in your entire life. Think about it, work on it, sleep around it, and then think about it some more so that you can launch something that no one else has ever thought of. But the thing about this one is that you have no intention of seeing it all the way to the finish line. This is not your magnum opus. This is not something that you're going to be with for the rest of your life. Your goal, in fact, is to do it in such a way that you impress, if you will, those who are already out in that field. And here's the catch. They are out there, but they're big. They're lumbering. They're slow. They're old-fashioned. And you have an idea, maybe for one feature of something that they haven't done yet. And that's what you focus on. So whatever it is that you're starting out with in your life, you're going to work it, work it, work it. You're going to network. You're going to do all kinds of stuff until someone comes up and buys your enterprise or takes it over or folds you into it or gives you a ton of money to shut up about it. That's the startup model. And we do usually see this in business, although I'd love to have you converse with me about other potential ways in which you believe we could consider this startup model to be in existence out in the world. And the second one that complements it, so I'm sure I'll talk more about the startup model, but it's good to dig right into this one as well. I call the pragmatic model. When you are going through school or you're going through a relationship, starting a business, trying to get your footing in a business that already exists, climb the corporate ladder, whatever it is that you're trying to do, as you're on the antecedent side of whatever that next new beginning might be for you, you will have some stuff going on. You're going to have resources of your own that you're putting into it. That might be money, time, treasure, and talent, as they often say. But at some point, you might have this moment of realism where you say, actually, I don't think I can do this anymore. I putting in too much of my own resources. And this again might be financial, but it's just as likely that it's you realize your work-life balance is out of whack. And so ultimately you say, I just can't do it. I'm going to have to withdraw from this program. I'm going to have to say I'm done to my supervisor, or perhaps the person who you started up a business with. And this one is tough because it really depends on you being completely realistic with yourself. How hard is that, friends, to be realistic with yourself? And we need to worry about the sunk cost fallacy as well, because let's say you're 3/4 of the way through an advanced degree, but you realize that you're about to not do well on a course. You might need to take it over again. Maybe the course that you need to finish is not going to be available for a few more years, or something happens at home that requires you to give more attention at home. It could be just about anything. But you have that moment of realism, and you realize everything up until now is a sunk cost. And you're not going to get that back. So do you fold? Or do you keep doing something that you know is not quite working? And this is, like I said, this is a tough one. It's one of the hardest ones to witness. It's certainly one of the hardest to live through. And I think part of it stems from the fact that it's often the case that people are not comfortable conversing freely with themselves. They're not comfortable having those heart-to-hearts with their heart. And therefore, people will go on for decades doing the same thing. Now, we all know what people say about doing the same thing with the same results over and over. I'm not going to go that harsh on us, because there might be a passion there. But another thing that there might be there is a real possibility that when you started out, you didn't have a goal. So in the prerequisite model, it was very clear from the start. You will sign up, you will do X, Y, Z, and you will attain this. If we believe that X, Y, and Z are all up to snuff, bam, you have earned your way to the new beginning, and you can cycle through again, or you can withdraw from the cycle and thus take on a whole new adventure. But here, in this pragmatic model, there is the possibility that when you entered into Project A, the antecedent, whatever you want to call it, you didn't have in mind the end goal. You didn't say, when I have attained this credential, I'll know it's time. When I have reached this batch of prerequisites, I will know that I'm there and I'm ready to do something. And even like the startup model, you enter into the pragmatic model at times where you say, I don't know what I'm doing. It's not that I want to sell this enterprise. It's not that I want to get taken over. I'm just kind of doing it. Well, when you just kind of do it, you don't know when to stop. Just kind of doing it. How many people have we seen who just kind of do it? They don't know what they're shooting for. They don't know when they're going to know whether they got there. And therefore, they never realize that it's time pack it up. Now, the pragmatic model is the proactive side of that. It's the realization that we're not going to get there. I'm not going to reach the angel investor. I'm not going to get this credential. I'm not going to be able to continue to pay my rent with credit cards so I can keep going to school. And so in that way, it's sad. But if you can get past the sunk costs and see those as experience that continues to be legitimate, continues to have residual value for the rest of your life, then this is one of the more empowered of all of them. Because one of the hardest things that we humans do is to get real with ourselves. We can get real with someone else. We can get real with people on TV. We can have all these ideas in my mind about things that are irritating and how you would change someone else's life. But how often do you sit and get real with yourself? That is the pragmatic model. If you yourself or someone you hold dear is in this position right now, I tip my hat to you because you are courageous, you have empowered yourself, and you will get there. Get yourself out of the model that's been going, but where? And reclaim your life. A new beginning, as a reminder, is not an ongoing saga. A new beginning does not have a duration. It's a moment in time. Get yourself out of the antecedent and onto the adventure, friends. Take care of yourself. You